Greetings, everyone. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to another episode of the Professor's Picks alongside, guess who? The Professor himself, Mr. Ken Golden. What's going
Good
on?
afternoon. Just crazy excited about Mets victory.
Yes.
I'm still like on cloud nine, and it's nice because they don't play again till Sunday, right?
Yeah, I kind of wish it wasn't that long of a wait, but the other games aren't done yet, so it's
Oh, and also, you know what? It gives the pitchers a chance to rest. So
yeah, that is true. That is true.
they can
Let me
certainly.
ask, make sure my eyes are my eagle eyes are working correctly. Is that a Nightingale LP over your right shoulder there?
Oh, sure, sure. Yeah,
Okay.
it might be sitting there for a while. It might have been there for a while. Yeah, that's one of the.
All right.
And when we do the pre-orders in a moment, there's some more Nightingale to come. So.
Gotcha. I just want to make sure my eyes weren't deceiving me. I
No.
still got it,
Oh,
Ken. I
and then
still got it.
and then we got the other one. We got
That's
the
right. Yeah. Even better cover on that one. Yeah.
yeah,
Classic Nightingale stuff.
yeah. So it's good stuff. There's a lot of great stuff this week, and there's an enormous amount of stuff this week. And I'm going to admit some of these things, I'm a little shady. Not shady. That's not the right word. Shaky, I should say. Maybe is maybe better because some of this stuff like came in yesterday afternoon and this morning, and it's some stuff that it's like, huh, did I order that? Kind of a thing. So, so some of the stuff well, maybe on like shaky ground, but it's in terms of how deep I can go. But we'll wing it.
Okay. It's all
Yeah,
right.
yeah, and we're not gonna have a show next week, correct?
Correct. Correct.
Okay.
Ray knows I
But
will be away. So then when we do get back 2 weeks from today, Ken will have even more stuff to talk about.
yes,
So yeah.
but please check the website next week. I'm actually holding back stuff for next week, so that's some really cool stuff for next week. So please check the site often and spend a lot of money, of course.
There you go.
So yeah,
Even though we won't have a show, and in fact, maybe Ken, what you could do, like maybe mid next week, if you wanted to, in the comments section of this video here today,
oh, post,
maybe drop a comment and say, hey, by the way, we got this stuff in for
yeah,
those
sure.
who want to check back here. So for everybody watching, maybe check back the comments of this video mid next week, just in case Ken drops in some cool stuff that's come out that you may want to jump on instead of waiting for the following week when they may all be gone, right? So.
Absolutely. Oh, and the last thing before we start in, it's like, please watch the prog-metal show we did, so then I could talk Pete into doing another one. So
Well, I think we've got a lot of good comments, and I think people either want a part two of the '90s or for us to move into the 2000s. So
yeah, there's
it's
a
almost like
lot of
I mean, I'm like we should do the 2000s and then maybe circle back on honorable mentions from the '90s and 2000s. I don't know. We could talk about it, but yeah,
yeah,
it's done very well. So
yeah. I, Very nostalgic for me. And then you see the comments, some like old customers posting, and one of my friends, Larry, who I had mentioned, he watched it. He said it practically brought him to tears. You know, yeah, get to talk about you don't
special
you don't
time for
talk
the
about
style of music, right? I mean, it was. Yeah.
yeah, and a lot of those albums we talked about, man, all those albums we talked about, they're all great, and they all held up. So
Yep. Yeah.
please
Sure.
watch it. It was fun for us, so it'll be fun
Yeah,
for you.
it was. It was.
All right, you ready to get going
I'm ready.
here?
I'm
All
ready.
right, now I got to find the right thing to click on. All right, we're going to do the pre-orders. I'll get the biggie out of the way. I thought it was going to be a surprise. It's not so much of a surprise. Dream Theater. Parasomnia comes out February 7th, 2025. There's a lot of versions of this thing. Uh, the We got a box set coming, a 2 CD Blu-ray art book, a regular old-fashioned CD digipack. We got a 2 LP black vinyl pressed in Germany. We got 2 LP ultra clear vinyl pressed in the US. And we have a limited 2 LP pearlescent deep blue vinyl, also pressed in Germany. So there you go. We got, let's see. Oh, let me,
Cover art is interesting. It
Hugh
looks
Sign.
okay, but it looks kind of familiar.
It's a Hugh Sign piece. And, I'm missing whatever the pearlescent deep blue looks like. Next thing that we have is from Nightingale. We have the Invisible album. This is a reissue, expanded into a two CD. It's a two CD set. It is black vinyl and blue vinyl. That is coming December 6th. And then they're doing Alive again, also two CD reissue, black vinyl and white vinyl, and that's February 28th, 2025. And please do not combine the two Nightingales together. They're different street dates, and we're not going to send you Invisible until we get Alive again 3 months later. So please be be a good boy and girl.
Separate
Amen.
orders.
Separate orders. Please place your pre-order. We always ask, place your pre-order separately. Avoid disappointment. Okay, let's hit the regular CDs this week. A lot of cool stuff. I'm going to pull up I'm going to do this a little differently. So I always say, oh, I'm going to sound smart this week. And I always want to sound stupid. But I took notes. So if you see me reading, so I sound intelligent. First thing we have alphabetically, Action for Dog. This would have been a candidate for me for album of the year, except it came out in 2023. Came out on vinyl last summer and didn't get a lot of attention because it was a limited edition vinyl release. Now it came out on CD in an expanded version. Norwegian band, touches of Canterbury. You get that psych, folk, little jazz rock, definitely symphonic rock. It's a pretty spectacular album. Not not on Apollon, which is
I
surprising.
was just going to ask, but okay.
No, and fits in that realm. It's got this, just has a Scandinavian flavor to it that's indescribable. Very prog, really good album. This is a buy or die album, I think. Next, Ad Infinitum, Abyss. They're a Swiss-German band with very good female singer Melissa Bonnet. She's the vocalist, symphonic metal. Has a little bit of a pop element to their music. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Amaranth. So if that's your thing, it's good stuff. Oh, we got a nice expensive one for you. A box set from Kevin Ayers. All this crazy gift of time. 9 CD Blu-ray set. It's a lot. And it's not my understanding is it's not the albums, it's not the studio albums. It's 9 CDs worth of BBC and in-concert appearances. You get an unreleased John Peel concert from 1970. A lot of unreleased material, some of which was mixed by Stephen Taylor. Does a very nice job. He did like the Hawkwind stuff. And the Blu-ray has live performances from the Old Grey Whistle Test from 1972 and 1973. And I'm sure there's other stuff I'm not mentioning that's on here. So Esoteric always does a nice job with these deluxe sets. Again, from Esoteric. Babe Ruth, Darker Than Blue. So Babe Ruth, believe it, it's one of these bands I don't know much about. Are you familiar with Babe Ruth at all?
I have most of their albums on CD. I like them, but it's not a band that I heavily got into. Um, and I haven't listened to a ton, but I have them. Yeah,
Female
they're weird. They're
female
kind of
vocalist.
like they're rock. They're not quite prog, but they do some prog stuff, and
Yeah, there's some
some of
long
it's hard
tunes.
rock, some of it's kind of poppy and bluesy. Yeah, it's a little bit of everything.
Yeah, and so they had three albums that they did for EMI, I think it was. So it's a reissue of First Base, which had a really cool Roger Dean cover.
Hmm.
Amar Caballero and self-titled Babe Ruth. That was the third album. And they recorded for Harvest, for EMI for Harvest, between 72 and 75. Female vocalist. Um, I kind of dug in a little bit over the past couple of days. I actually thought it was pretty good, but like you said, kind of proggy, but there's like a hard rock element, and there's a lot of things going
Yeah.
on.
Bernie
So,
Marsden plays guitar on one of them, I believe.
oh,
Bernie,
really? Yeah,
yeah,
maybe on
from
one of the later
Whitesnake.
ones. All right, next. Ginger Baker's Air Force. What a day. This is a CD DVD from the Bremen Beat Club from 1970. And I didn't know the people that are playing in this version of Air Force other than Graham Bond, who plays sax and organ. And it
Big
does
band, really big band, if I remember
big
correctly.
man, yeah, kind of sort of African themes, and but he does some Cream covers, and I did, frankly, I didn't even know this thing came out. So I stumbled on it. Yeah, it's legit. It's on Made in Germany. So
Yeah,
uh,
okay. Good label.
yeah, yeah. Okay, now we're getting into like the ozone here. Beat Love Oracle featuring Liang Yu Wang. And this is one of the ones where I'm not, I've spent a lot of time and it just showed up. So I'm going to read my notes. Belgian jazz rock quintet led by Frank Neutz on marimba and synthesizers. Sax and acoustic piano often are the lead, but there's a lot of marimba very much out front. Very kind of interesting. It's a little bit of like an RIO Frank Zappa influence. I thought it was interesting and not what we normally sell. You know, if you don't like it, blame Feigenbaum. He talked me into something.
Blame it on Steve. There you go.
Yeah. This is good. Black Widow, Sabbath Days. So, are you a Black Widow fan? I'm
I
kind of,
am. I have everything they've ever done. Yeah, I like Black.
yeah.
Weird
So,
band, but they're good. They're good.
yeah, they were were tagged as and rightfully so, as an occult rock band. So all their lyrics had occult themes. Uh, songs like "Come to the Sabbath," "Come to the Sabbath." They were pretty good. So they made 3 albums for CBS. They stuck around where they got back together and they made some other stuff. So you get the 3 CBS albums, get demos, you get outtakes, you get live recordings, and then before there was Black Widow, they were actually originally called Pesky G, and so you get the Pesky G album, and you get an unreleased album from 1972. It's killer. Frankly, it's like Atomic Rooster crossed with Jethro Tull.
Yeah.
A lot of great organ, but also like Vincent Crane kind of organ, and a lot of flute and
Flute.
sax.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of flute and sax. And you expect it to be like Black Sabbath. It's not like Black Sabbath at all.
It's funny because with that debut album, they got lumped right into the same category as Black Sabbath because of the lyrical themes, and
Yeah,
each band was Black something. But yeah, nothing like Black Sabbath at
I,
all. But
I,
cool
I
stuff
think,
nonetheless.
frankly, I think calling themselves Black Widow, I think they might have done themselves a disservice. I mean, the lyrics they all have that occult theme to it, which was their shtick. But musically, they're way more. They were a prog band. They were like,
Especially on the stuff after the first album, because the Sacrifice, their second album, Black
mhm.
Widow, Black Widow 3, and parts of Black Widow 4, and those or Black Widow 4 came out later, but those other albums, they're prog albums for the
Yeah,
most part. And I never heard the Pesky G album. That's exclamation mark, I'm assuming,
yeah,
from
yeah.
69. I'd never heard that before. So they got the
That
whole
did come
album
out
on
on
there? Wow.
Yeah, and that did come out on CD. So yeah, I never heard Piscatee. I've seen it. I've seen actual copies of record shows. But yeah, very good band. And you can
Yeah.
look at I don't know if you can see the cover art, but it's guys like he's got the sword and he's got the naked lady on the cover there. He's doing the sacrifice. So I guess they had their version of Stacia or something like that.
Come,
Very good.
come to the
Next,
Sabbath. Come to the
up
Sabbath.
to this.
Who's there?
It's good.
It's
It's
crazy.
good stuff.
Yeah.
Black Widow is a good band. All right, next one. Also a very good band, a new band, and you're going to be hearing a lot about this band. Cemetery Skyline. You got members of Insomnium, Dark Tranquility, Amorphis, Dimmu Borgir, and Sentence. It's not it's not like any of those bands. It's basically like gothic metal with melodic, clean vocals, very good vocals. It sort of fits in. It's like broadly like Typo Negative, Sisters of Mercy. I kind of compare it to Catatonia, and very good stuff. And yeah, they're on Century Media, and that is, and I think, yeah, they're playing the Prog Power.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I
Nice.
don't know.
Yeah, it's quite the superstar band.
Yeah. Next thing, Dark. Was it around the Dark? Sorry, Dark Round the Edges. So this is kind of like a fabled album. It's considered to be the rarest British psych album. 2 copies recently sold for about $75,000. Originally pressed 60 64 copies were pressed. This is from 19, I think it was 1972. And a lot of those early British albums that we hear, they only pressed 99 copies and they're super rare or whatever. Yeah, they're super rare and they're super rare for a reason. They kind of suck. Dark were really good. And this was heavy fuzz guitar, underground psych. Uh, the main guy in the band was the guitarist Steve Giles, but the other guitarist was Martin Weaver. And when the band broke up, he formed the Wicked Lady, and he's now in Orson Space Collective and also Doctors of Space. So he's still alive, but dark, heavy, like I said, very heavy around the edges. It's been reissued a number of times, but it's just Steve Giles is involved in this, and it's from the Masters, and so there you go.
And that's
Uh,
so that's a different cover because I have
yeah, well,
Around the
this
Edges
is
on CD, but it's a different cover to that.
yes, the cover that you're thinking of, I think maybe on the back of this.
Okay, yeah, it's the lady sitting in front of the window on the couch.
Yes, yeah. So, do you
Great,
have it?
great album. I have it on
It's a
CD.
great
Great
album. Yeah, it's the same album with all kinds of. This I think is like the original
original
cover.
cover. Gotcha.
I think so. So yeah. So yeah, I've got some other reissues coming up from this. So Sealy Court is the label that's doing these reissues. And the guy behind Sealy Court, he used to have a label called Kissing Spell. And his thing is he used to find these acetates and all of these mega rare British albums, and he would do these reissues like he did years ago. Charge, you remember Charge? I think
Hmm.
he got Charged from me.
Yep.
Wicked Lady. He finds all this stuff, and he was one of the guys that reissued Dark at one point. Many people have reissued Dark. So I got another thing on Sealy Court coming up in a minute. But first, for something completely different, Dragony, Hixen Draconis. And where are they from? I think they're Austrian. I don't know. Look at the cover. They're into dragons. What else do you need to know? So they got a whole
Quite
dragon.
colorful.
Yeah. So they got the whole thing. They got the Viking ship and they got the dragon on the cover and the big wizard. So it's like wizard metal. This was actually a nice surprise. Roman Gil. This was really nice Spanish symphonic prog. There's a lot of mellotron sounds on here. I'm not going to tell you it's a mellotron, probably not a real mellotron, but very, very good symphonic prog stuff. Back to Sealy Court. I don't remember a lot about Greenfly, Satan's daughters, and Satan's daughter, and just what can I tell you about? I'm not sure what I could tell you about it other than read what I wrote because there was very little about it. They were saying it's like in, just incredible, underground, amazing, heavy. I don't know. So
I never heard of that before. I'm just trying to think because I have a few Sealy Court releases. Didn't they release that album by that band Grandma? Pretty sure they did that as well.
Grandma,
Yeah.
that's possible. Isn't that a bad name for a band?
Yeah, it's terrible. Yeah, but the,
It
the
was
album's pretty good though.
his grandfather, Dr. Time, or that. So what did I here? Let's see what I'm jumping onto my website here. What do they say about Greenfly? Top three UK out of control heavy prog underground masterpiece. And now it's literally under. Oh, I wrote and literally now it's literally underground. Kept secret for 50 years. No one except Sealy Court and Walter Geertsen, a legendary collector and record dealer, uh, have heard this since the day it was recorded in 1972. Blistering, insane heavy prog with demented lead guitars and swirling organ. Riding on the Wall meets Bent Wind with a large dash of Prime in Search of Space era Hawkwind. Killer vocalist somewhere between Robert Plant and Jim Morrison. The tracks have the quote verging on the edge of sanity feel of Bent Wind. It opens with the killer title track. So I would probably take that with a grain of salt, but
yeah, but
it maybe gives it a little bit of guidance as to what's up.
by the way,
Next one.
the band name was Granny, not Grandma. Granny.
Oh yeah. Yes, I forget the name of that Granny. Yeah, Granny. Yes, and they spell it IE, right? GRANNIE, I
I
think.
think so. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. This is another one that Flagger Mount goes nuts over. He gets damp ankles over this band. Jack Dupont. This is this is like weird RIO stuff. So we have some guys who dig them, and Jack Dupont, they're a known band. To me, it's a lot of noise. If you're into RIO stuff, you'll probably listen to, oh my God, what is Ken talking about? This is this is brilliant. In fact, I mentioned it to Steve this morning, and he was just like spooging all over this record. So he was like, so there you go. Next thing we got. This is a nice one. This one is from Kanan and Avistaden. So Kanan, this is Norwegian. They're Norwegian psych band, sort of lumped in with like Kotsui, that sort of thing. Well, the Danish, but for the Scandinavian stuff. And Avistaden, they're a folk band, and the two bands got together, and they collaborated, and I listened to it, and it's pretty good. It's like some crazy heavy psych mixed with really nice acoustic parts, and the two bands they kind of merge. It's kind of nice stuff. And this band, Canada, they're really good, and they kind of get overlooked a little bit. I don't know if it's their own label. They're on a label called Jensen Records. They're not like, if they were on El Paraiso, I think I think you'd probably hear a lot more about them. So, okay, now we're still in Steve Feigenbaum Fantasyland. This is Corkage, and the name of the album is, well, I guess it's the ninth album, it's XI. And this was actually kind of interesting. They are a French instrumental proggy piano-based drums trio. They have, like, kind of an avant-garde leanings. You know, my initial reaction when I saw that was that they were a jazz trio. They're not. It's got some definitely, it's definitely in the rock camp. Another one I have not had a chance to listen to. Just arrived. Nick Magnus, keyboard player, Steve Hackett's old keyboard player, The Strange Inheritance. I believe John Hackett is playing on this, but again, didn't get a chance to sample it. This one I did listen to, and this was very good. And this was another Sealy Court one called Marvelous Kid After the Race. And this one, it's an unreleased album. They've recorded a full album that was never released from '73. And Sealy Court, it's funny because they're pushing the album. They're showing like old advertisements where they were opening for so and so, and they were a known band, but they never got the deal. And it has a definite Canterbury feel to it. It was actually, I thought this one was quite nice. Next thing, Angel Antalva. He is the guy behind October Equus, and this was really nice. You like Mellotron? This thing's loaded with Mellotron, and I mean, there's a lot. That's like the main thing on here, and it's got a definite like King Crimson feel to it. It's got real tension to it. Really, really good. If you like Angel's previous work, solo albums, and October Equus, you're gonna dig it. Very, very nice. Next thing, box set from Renaissance. Can You Hear Me? And I probably should have been a little more proactive with this to tell you exactly what's on it. But since I have my website open, it is a 2 CD Blu-ray, has previously unreleased BBC in concert performance from 1978, previously unreleased performance for Swiss TV from 1974, and the 1977 BBC Sight and Sound in concert TV and radio concert. So, more Renaissance for me is never a bad thing. I'm always happy to have Renaissance. This was actually another weird one Steve talked me into. Right, fun saying that. It's good.
Like half the stuff this week.
He took me to a bunch of things. Spectrum Orchestrum. This was actually pretty good. French ensemble. They kind of dipped their toes into like jazz rock prog. There's a little improv element to it. You got the squalling sax, a lot of electric guitar, and a lot of Fender Rhodes. And I kind of heard like some Crimson intensity about it. So it was quite nice, actually. Very good. And frankly, as much as I kid about Steve, if Steve didn't tell me about these things, talk me through these things, I wouldn't have them. I wouldn't get to hear them. So I hate to say nice things about it.
Why is your
Vanilla
butt?
Fudge, Where Is My Mind? This this is a monster. This is a huge thing. You could hurt somebody with this. A 9 CD box set
Oof.
includes 9 CD box set featuring the complete Echo recordings between 67 and 69, newly remastered from the original master tapes. It includes a lot of bonus material, big book, illustrated book, new essays, band interviews. A lot, yeah. There's like mono versions, stereo versions, and each album seems to have bonus tracks. I'm scrolling through. I think there's some live stuff from the Fillmore, and if you're a Vanilla Fudge fan, there you go.
Yeah, those are pretty
Now,
strong
next,
albums. Yeah, good stuff.
all right, next thing on the list, if I could pull up the correct list. I just have one significant restock this. Oh, no, there's one other thing I missed. Zop. Zop Live at Danfest. So Zop is this really great British band that are like fully immersed in the Canterbury sound. The main guy in the band, whose name I don't remember, Ryan something or other, he he's got like that Dave Stewart sound, like he's playing that organ that just sounds like it's going to fall apart any second. And so it's material they this is only the second ever performance, and they draw material from their two albums, and there is an unreleased track, and I'm stalling for time because I feel bad that I didn't say what his proper name is, and his name is Ryan Stevenson. And yeah, you like Hatfield and North, national, particularly like National Health. There are some vocals, but it's mostly instrumental. Fantastic album. You have to own this one. Really, really good. Nice guitar work. It's a good one. Okay, what's the next thing? Back to Zoom. Now, the only significant restock we have this week is Renaissance, Scheherazade, and Other Stories. This box set from Esoteric had been out of print for like 3 years or so. Was this the one you were missing? This one, right?
Yep, it's the only one
All
I'm
right.
missing.
Yeah, I'll throw it in your stack, your ever-growing stack. Let's. All right.
Never
Yeah,
ends.
yeah. That's how I stay in business, man.
That's how I go bankrupt, right?
All right, I'll blow through. I'll blow through the vinyl. We had Ad Infinitum on Abyss. We had that Kanan and Avistaden, Lang Weg. Then this is Threshold Clone. This is a new 2024 remix. This is on orange vinyl. Then we have a nice one from Rick Wakeman. Actually, I got one over here. Hold up. So you see it backwards and you see it both places. Roger Dean cover.
Nice.
And it's two sidelong solo piano pieces. The first piece is called Yesanada, where he does a medley of Yes material that he melded together. And side two is the King Arthur Piano Suite, and it was recorded on a Steinway Model D concert grand piano. I don't have a CD of it. I just have the vinyl. Now, it's been a while. Cheap Shit.
Cheap shit returns.
We've got the return of Cheap Shit. Let me pull up my notes for the Cheap Shit, and then we'll be out of here. The first one is by Japanese guitar player Kenji Hino and this kind of post-metal noise band Sumac. So Kenji Hino, he's kind of like a mythical uh, figure in the Japanese noise scene. Dresses all in jet black hair, wears black sunglasses, carries a scepter, and so he did this collaboration with this band Sumac. It's guys from ISIS and Russian circles, and I've got to read you the name of this album because it's pretty special. It's called "Into This Juvenile Apocalypse: Our Golden Blood to Pour."
Alrighty then.
So yeah, it's heavy as shit, man, and into noise, and it's cheap. I think I don't know, it's like $5 or something like that. So we got a deal on it. So this is a band that sends Anthony into a frenzy. King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard.
Ah.
Polygonwanaland. So this is considered to be their best album. They've got it like 100 albums or something like that. That's some ridiculous number. And when this album came out, I think it was 2017. They actually put this album out for free. They made it available in all different versions for you to download, so you could
They
burn your
don't do they don't do a lot of CDs. It's vinyl or digital. That's
a
basically it.
lot of vinyl, a lot of
Yeah.
vinyl. So this is I'm not versed really in this band at all. I listened to it open up with like an 11-minute tune. It's kind of proggy. They're considered to be like a psych band. They're from Australia, considered to be a psych band. I guess they're a psych band, but
Now is that you have that in vinyl or CD?
CD. This is CD. I don't. Yeah, all the cheap shit.
Put one aside for me because I've been wanting to dig into that band, but it's just like, I don't,
If
I
you
don't
if you're gonna do it, this is the one.
yeah,
You know.
I know the title as soon as you said it because I've long been
Yeah.
looking at their catalog, but
Yeah.
they got a million albums. It's like, and half the shit's only available digitally or LPs.
When I say they have like 100 albums, they don't have like 100 albums, but they've got like 100 albums.
Yeah, it's pretty close. There's a lot.
They put out, yeah, they constantly, and they put out a lot of live stuff,
Yeah.
and they're like box sets, like 8 album vinyl box set. Anthony, here's your deal of the week. Polygon Wonderland. All right, next thing, 2 CD boot, Led Zeppelin live in Europe, 1969. This was recorded different dates in Europe in 1969. I think it's like $7, and it's a 2 CD set. You can't go wrong, right? And even if it sucks, it's $7. Don't complain. I need your help with this. The Sword, Low Country. You know the band The Sword?
Oh yeah,
They're
hell yeah, yeah.
like a metal band, right?
Like a stoner doom band. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So I don't know anything about them. I just know that it was cheap, and we have customers that like cheap, and customers that like The Sword. So
Great
it's a good
band.
combination.
Great band.
Yeah. I think this is supposed to be like an acoustic based theme one that this is Low Country. I think they had an album called High Country.
Yep. Yep.
So this is supposed to be like the flip side to it. Now here's one that I would think you would love. Tower of Power. 50 years of funk and soul. It's live at the Fox Theater from 2018. And this actually has a lot of alumni, Tower of Power alumni, including Chester Thompson. Chester Thompson's on this. So you into them at all?
I have a bunch of their older albums, their original albums. Yeah, good band.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah,
Lenny Pickett
funk and
plays.
pop and R&B and a little rock and yeah, great,
You
great
know,
horns, great horns.
yeah. I mean, in a
Obviously,
way, kind of like the cousin of like Chicago, maybe.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Great players, great players. Who's the drummer? Is the main guy, right?
Yeah, God, what is his name?
Danny something or
I
other.
forget his name.
Goes in. Well, it's a 2 CD DVD. It's $13, and that's a pretty good price. Next in the cheap shit category, and this is an incredible deal. Van de Graaff Still Life 2 CD DVD. This we were selling this for $33 at one
Yeah, I
point.
remember.
Now it's $10. So it's remastered as bonus tracks, as new stereo mix, as a 5.1 mix. So
It's a great set, great
it's
album.
one of the greatest.
Yeah.
And the last thing, again in the cheap shit category, Anneke van Giersbergen, the old singer from The Gathering. This came out. This is a collection that came out on Inside Out. She had a project called Agua de Anique, and this includes 4 albums: Air, Pure Air, In Your Room, and Live in Europe. So if you're an Anneke fan, great singer, there you go. We got this. It's a four CD box set for $11. So
She's awesome. She's so cool.
you know, I'll tell you one quick Anneke story. I'll leave everybody alone. So, I'm friendly with Delane. I had worked with Delane and put out 3 other albums, and they were playing here. They're playing in Philly, and Anneke was touring with them, and she was opening. So I had my pass. She was playing acoustic. She was doing acoustic. It's the open, and I had a pass, so backstage pass. So I went looking for Delane, and and then the first floor that I see is Annika in her dressing room, and I guess she's getting ready. And I had never met her, so I walked in, and I think, this strange guy walks into the room. I think there was nobody else there. I think, her life was flashing in front of her eyes. And I just introduced myself, and I said, thanks, whatever. And I said, like, where's Delane? I'm looking for them. She sent me on my way. But she's like, why is this guy here? She told me one of those things.
Wandering into my dressing room, right?
Yeah, wandering into my dressing room, like I was like embarrassed, and I just introduced myself, and I split. And
I
she
got
put
to
on.
meet her once. God, I think it was the last U.S. tour she did when she was still in the Gathering. Really, really sweet. Really,
Did
really.
you see The Gathering?
Yeah, yeah. It was right at the end, right before she left.
Those albums were good, but boy, they changed so much.
Yeah, they changed a little bit too much for me. I like, the like Mandalion and
Yeah,
Nighttime Birds are amazing, and
those
even the
two,
album after that. But then they got like really kind of like
Poppy.
indie rock atmospheric, and I just yeah,
Yeah, that live album where they kind of went like pop.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and then she split.
And she split. Yeah, they were never the
Yeah,
same.
she did the album with Arian Lucasen. What was it? Was that the General Storm?
Yeah,
Uh,
pretty good. Yeah.
yeah, and she pops up. She's kind of like a figure. In the Netherlands, she's well known, and she pops up here and there.
Yeah, she does stuff with Devin Townsend. She's done more stuff with Arian, and
Yeah,
you know,
I know. Like, yeah, like I remember on one of the Within Temptation DVDs. I think she comes out for one of the tunes, and yeah, she's
great voice, nice personality, sexy lady. Yeah, she's just total. And probably doesn't get enough credit for kind of spearheading this whole like female-fronted metal thing
yeah,
because The Gathering were one of the first bands to do that. And
sure,
I never understood like those couple albums, those first couple albums she did with the band. I mean, I never understood why those weren't huge. Um,
yeah.
maybe too heavy. I don't know. But
I
then,
don't know, but yeah, Nighttime Birds, Mandelion, those are great records.
yeah,
Yeah,
all of a sudden you had like Nightwish and Within Temptation and After Forever and Epica and all these other bands just popped up out of the woodwork and like all of a sudden like
yeah,
Annika was left. Hey, well, what about me? I kind of
yeah,
this whole thing.
yeah. It's true. Because I think a lot of it's because she went solo. When she split, she went solo, and Agua de Unique. I mean, they made these four albums, but they never really caught on.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Jim, was she in Vor? Yeah, Vor, Vuur,
Yeah.
also on Inside Out.
Yep.
And, I think that was the most recent band thing.
Yeah.
And
And that
again,
was a number of years ago. Yeah.
yeah, but I don't even think that exists anymore. So, but that's what we got this week. It's a lot of stuff.
A lot of stuff. Yeah. A lot of stuff.
Yeah.
More stuff for me.
Yeah. Well, that's the way it goes.
That's the way it goes. So we'll have the full list as always pinned down in the comments below for all of you who like to kind of copy and paste and go shopping. So lasercd.com is the URL. List will be below. And remember, in case you forgot from earlier in the episode, we will not have a Professor's Picks next week. However, Ken is periodically during the week going to go pop into the comments section of this video and let you guys know of some notable things that come out next week so you know to go check the website and investigate. Because as you know, some of this stuff goes very, very quickly.
Yeah, I tell you one thing. I know we'll have Frost, the new Frost album next week. Streets next Friday. I've got two big boxes of Norwegian prog reissues, 70s prog reissues,
Wow.
some new bands, and there's other stuff on the way. Some stuff on Frontiers. I didn't even know a band called Aries. I ordered it. I don't even know what the hell it is. So yeah, there's all kinds of boxes over there. Just getting ready for next week. So
I can't keep up with the Frontier stuff. It's like every other day there's something new coming out. I'm like, I never.
no, yeah, I mean, it's like it's like a roulette wheel. They're different names. They whatever they pull. The lottery. They're pulling names out of a hat and putting them together, and
Here you go. It's like, all right,
yeah.
cool. It's like
So
whatever
and
works. People buy it.
They get Magnus Carlsen to write the tunes, and
There you go.
You got it now.
Yeah, them or Del Vecchio, right? One of those guys. They have
Yeah.
these they're on staff. They're like, all right, well, you go produce and play keyboards there, and you go play guitar and write over there, and we're good. So, oh
Yeah.
well. So
Great.
yeah, a lot of good stuff. So check it all out, folks. Remember, look back on lasercd.com as often as you can for all the new updates. And we'll see you back here in 2 weeks on the Professor's Picks. Visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube all together all the damn time. Coming up, got Jamie Laszlo and the review crew tomorrow. Myself and Grant Arthur will be ranking the albums on Sunday. We're going to squeeze 30 minutes out of a 2 album catalog. We're going to talk about the 2 albums from Rosington Collins Band. Who's talking Rosington Collins Band? Nobody, right? We are. So that's coming up on Sunday. And then, of course, we will have Hudson Valley Squares on Monday, pre-taping it on Sunday. So you'll have that. Another album war. We got 4 classic thrash debuts. That's coming up on Monday, and then all the rest of the stuff during the week. So for Ken Golden, I'm Pete Pardo. See you 2 weeks here on the Professor's Picks. Till then, have a good weekend, everybody. See you.